the top 5 themes actually that are playing out in the market and where we are invested and we are bullish on, first and foremost is something called electrical equipments. Now, if you look at it, like you will be thinking, what is that? But there are a lot of stocks, and I will not talk about stocks, but you can go and see the stocks making new 52-week highs or lifetime highs. You will find that a lot of them, because we try to club everything under capital goods. Now, capital goods is a very, very big theme. There are a lot of stocks. So we need to be a little more micro to be thematic, because under that theme, we should have only 5-7 stocks. And then it is very, very easy to choose them. So we feel that the sector that is doing very well, which is showing leadership and which we think will become leaders forward, is electrical equipments. Again, it's a very, very narrow theme.
Okay. Atul, sorry, just so that people have clarity, I'm not asking for recommendations, but within this theme or index, what you mean is businesses which are linked to this. So the likes of maybe ABB, Siemens, etc., etc. I'm not asking for recos, but just a description of what.
I think you're right. Absolutely right.
Okay.
As I said, the beauty is that if you look, or if you narrow down below this, you'll find that most of these things are 5 to 7 stocks. So it makes your analysis very, very simple. If I tell you capital goods, it's very, very broad based.
That's true.
You can add 30, 40, 50, 70 stocks, by the time you get to the mid and small cap.
Sure.
But here, even if you go, and of course you mentioned a few large cap names, but if you go into the mid cap spaces also, you'll find there are a lot of stocks doing very, very well. The second theme that we think that is doing very well and has been, and of course this is what people know about, is defense.
Yes.
When we talk of PSU stocks doing well, you'll realize that even in the PSU basket, the subset that is doing the best is actually defense. And again, there are a handful of stocks, most people know about them, but we find that you'll realize that these stocks are constantly pushing to new lifetime highs. And more important is the number narrative, and you can see the story. I mean, you don't even have to read Economic Times. You can read the Times of India and come to know that, hey, you know what? There's a lot happening at the government level. There's a big macro push. And I think that is kind of showing in the themes that are playing out. In fact, the defense industry is a theme that is playing out globally, thanks to the whole Russia-Ukraine thing. And a lot more countries are realizing that they need to develop their own defense production and capabilities, because you cannot depend on others. The whole geopolitical, etc. We can get into that later. So I think that this is a second theme that's playing out very well. The third theme that I think is very interesting, again, very well known, but no one looks at them as a theme, but we look at it as hotel stocks. You have to just try to book a holiday in summer to realize that where the room rates are. And you realize that, wow, it's just fantastic. It's just amazing that what is really happening in that sector. There was something that was dead and buried in 2020 during COVID. I mean, these things had become almost haunted buildings, And I feel that hotels is a third sector that's doing very well. Another sector that we really like is we like a lot of the infra plays, the engineering and infra plays. So what it is really telling me, Neeraj, is that essentially we are getting positioned for an industrial revival, capex revival. All these things, electrical equipments, infra, engineering, these are all related to manufacturing, to revival, government, economic activity. So I do get a feeling that we are on the cusp of maybe a good industrial revival. And that is why you'll find that these stocks or the sectors are reporting very, very good numbers, because the result season is going out, and that is also getting reflected in the stock price movements.